Peppa Pig. Scary class with cursed Madam Gazelle. The morning started off strange. The house was too quiet. No bird song, no usual clinking of breakfast dishes. Peppa was the first to wake up, which was odd since George always did. He was lying with his eyes open, not moving, as if he had simply forgotten how. "George," Peppa whispered. He slowly turned to her and mouthed, barely audible, "Don't go to school today." A chill ran down Peppa's spine, but Mummy Pig was already calling them to breakfast and everything seemed normal, almost, except neither Mummy nor Daddy Pig blinked, not even once. The walk to school was covered in grey fog. The trees looked like they bent away, refusing to see. No sound at all except for footsteps. When the school finally emerged from the mist, Peppa's heart tightened. The windows were pitch black, as if painted over from inside. The sign that read Madam Gazelle's preschool was hanging crookedly, as if someone had tried to tear it down. The yard was empty. Only the front door was open, and Madam Gazelle stood in the doorway. But something was wrong with her. She used to seem kind, even if a bit strict. Now her eyes were far too large, glowing unnaturally. Her eyelashes were like needles, and her mouth, it looked wider than before, much wider. "Good morning, children," she said in a flat, metallic voice. Peppa stepped inside. The air smelled of mold and dampness. All the kids were already seated, silent. Susie, Danny, Pedro, but no one turned around. Their faces were blank, their eyes glassy. "We're starting a new course," said Madam Gazelle. "Today's lesson is called Silence." Peppa didn't understand what was going on. When she tried to whisper to Susie, Susie turned and opened her mouth. There was no tongue, only a deep black hole. Madam Gazelle appeared right next to her. "No talking," she whispered with a ghastly grin. Her mouth was no longer smiling. It unhinged, stretching all the way down to her collarbone. Inside was darkness and something moving. Peppa backed away, but the door was already shut, locked. Where the blackboard used to be was now a huge screen. Faces began to appear, dozens, hundreds of children's faces. They were screaming silently, their mouths wide with horror. Then the screen went dark. "These are the ones who didn't obey," said Madam Gazelle. "Now, let's recite the spell." The children stood up. Words began to spill from their mouths, though their eyes remained lifeless. Peppa didn't recognize the language. Her head spun, her ears rang. She bolted from the classroom, but the hallway was no longer the same. It stretched endlessly. The walls were peeling, covered in children's drawings, all showing Madam Gazelle with 3 eyes and arms filled with mouths. On the floor, footprints led inward, but none led out. She saw George in one of the open doors. He was crying. "She took me," he sobbed. "She said I'm part of the class now." When Peppa turned around, Madam Gazelle was right there. Her body had elongated. Her arms reached toward the ceiling. A voice echoed inside Peppa's mind. "You'll be my star student, Peppa. You'll learn everything." The world started to dissolve. The ceiling vanished, leaving only walls, pulsing, dark, alive. Voices rose around her. Some sang nursery rhymes, others cried, others cackled with madness. In the chaos, Peppa fainted. She woke up, in bed. It was morning. Everything looked normal, except when she looked in the mirror. Madame Gazelle was standing behind her, and when Peppa blinked, the reflection smiled back with an impossibly wide, pitch-black grin.